Hi, this is Mike. Last time I showed you a demonstration video for the cheat sheet compiler for Fantasy Baseball. Today I'm going to show a demo for Draft Buddy for Fantasy Baseball. And what Draft Buddy does is it pulls in the cheat sheets from the compiler for your league that we created, and it helps you track your draft. So let me go through some of the features of Draft Buddy and why this is a great little tool on draft day. First, you're going to pull the cheat sheets in from the compiler, pretty straightforward, by hitting Set up Draft Buddy in this program, and then inputting the team names right here, and then just checking off which team is yours. So that's kind of the start on the Setup tab, and let's run through the rest of the tabs and see what we have here. The Summary tab is kind of a snapshot of the draft, and I've already got this draft going underway here in the middle of the second round. It kind of shows the current pick status, who's up, how many picks until your next pick, and next two picks, in fact. And here's all this. Here are the requirements for the league on what positions should be drafted, what positions have been drafted by each team, and yours is highlighted here. If I scroll a little bit to the right, we got some boxes here showing the top ranked players available based on the cheat sheet, the top players based on average draft position, so kind of who we expect to get drafted next, and there's a little snapshot of my roster down here as well. I can switch these around by positions as well. Right now it's overall, but I go to first base, let's say, and then it switches showing the top ranked players at first base and top average draft position at first base. Some other quick things, there's a countdown timer that can be used for a live draft. This over here is some trash talking sound effects that you can play, more effective in a live draft, of course, but kind of a fun little thing there. The next thing here is the draft input tab. This is essentially a draft report showing the entire draft for every round, showing what the order is, and basically what players have been drafted. If picks or players are traded, you can input those. So we can simply change that pick there from Jeff to Mike because we made a trade, and somewhere else along the line I'll switch some of Mike's picks to Jeff. But this is the draft report, and you can input players here on the draft report. So say I want to input, it wasn't Matt Holliday, but say it was a first baseman here, Justin Morneau, then we'll just switch that up, and you can do all the players here if you want, but there is an easier way which I'll show you in a minute. The Roto tab only applies to rotisserie leagues, of course, but it shows the projected Roto standings based on the picks as they're made. So it shows the projections in each category. It shows the Roto points that would be scored, and this updates for every single pick that's made. Again, only for Roto leagues, not fantasy points leagues. The By Team tab shows the rosters for every team, which is kind of important. So it shows what positions have been drafted by each team. You kind of judge who's going to get what positions players are, or other players in your league are looking at going forward, because they have to cover off all the positions. And you can open these up for a little more information showing the player, the team. In this case, the Roto League, so it shows the dollar value off the cheat sheet. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. It shows all the teams here. You just have to scroll a bit to the right to see them all. Okay, here are the cheat sheets tab. So it's the hitters tab. Remember in the compiler we had three cheat sheets. We had hitters, pitchers, and overall. So right here we have the hitters cheat sheet right here, the pitchers on the next tab, and overall on the third tab right here. So they're all easy to access. They're each on their own tab in this case. And the way these are set up is I call it the left side, right side. So the left side cheat sheet is all the players remaining. So you can see the players that have been drafted have disappeared here. So it's easy to see who's left in your draft. We had Pujols number one, of course, at first base, but he's gone. So that is blanked out. But the right side cheat sheet, if I just scroll over to the right here, this shows all the players. So these are all the players that came, this is the cheat sheet that came right out of the cheat sheet compiler, showing all the players here. And the reason some of these boxes are yellow is because you can actually re-rank the players right in Draft Buddy. So you don't want to mess around with the projections that are in the compiler. You can just grab Draft Buddy, get the cheat sheets in here, kind of starting point, and then change the rankings, change the dollar value, and sort them using the re-rank buttons, and then you have new rankings, that are more your own than are coming right out of the compiler. Now, but the important thing is here, the left side is what you're going to be looking at mostly, which shows the players that were gone, and you kind of quickly identify, okay, what players are left and who am I targeting for this draft pick. Same Pitchers tab is set up the exact same way right here. The Overall tab is set up the same way, showing the overall rankings. Shows here's the cheat sheet as it came out of the compiler. Here is the players remaining for your draft. Now, I was going to show you an easier way to draft players, and I'm going to do that right here on the Hitters tab. So let's say that someone wants to draft Jose Reyes, and I know who's up next because it shows right here. The current pick is 2.06 Terry. So Terry wants to draft Jose Reyes, and all you have to do is click on this name and then hit Draft Player. Okay? And if I go to the Draft Input tab, it shows Jose Reyes came in at pick 2.06 for Terry, and it updated. The next pick is Ian's at 2.07. Alright, so that's a much easier way to do it than doing the drop downs over here, which you can do, but simply click on the name, hit Draft Player, and there you go. And the Pitchers tab works the same way. Say Holiday's next up for John, 2.08. Click on his name, Draft Player. Overall tab's the same way, and we can see these players disappeared that we just drafted. You can click on a name, Draft Player. ADP tab, same way. So here's the ADP tab that came from the compiler on the right side, and then it shows the players remaining over on the left side. And then you can kind of quickly see from the ADP who we expect to get drafted next, and you kind of judge who you want to draft coming up and whether that person is going to be available or not. Here is the depth tab. Remember, the depth chart was also in the compiler. And here's the right side that was copied over from the compiler. And the left side are the players remaining. So we can see some players missing here that have been drafted already. And again, you can draft right off of here if you want to, although these aren't the rankings, of course. We have a couple other tabs here. The just shows the players as they're drafted by position. You kind of review later, and by round, it's a little, just kind of go back and forth. Just like this view. So there's an overview of Draft Buddy. I guess I'll just add a couple more things. If you had an auction draft, then this Draft Input tab would be an Auction Input tab, so a little bit different. If you have keepers, then a keepers tab would open up, and you would see the Draft Buddy would do that automatically when you run the setup. You input the keepers, and then those players will drop off the cheat sheets as the keepers are input, and then you're ready to start your draft. So there's an overview of Draft Buddy. It's available at draftbuddy.com.